When life takes something away, it's only making space for something greater. But when dreams shatter and everything seems unfair, how can we believe that? This is the story of a man who cursed his fate
until life showed him
that sometimes pain is just a door to purpose. In a small town near the hills lived a young carpenter named Arav. He wasn't rich, but he was gifted. His hands could turn a plain piece of wood into something beautiful. He lived with his wife Mira and their little daughter Chavi. They had big dreams. Arav wanted to open his own furniture shop someday, to build something lasting with his own hands. Every day, he worked long hours. At the local workshop, he smiled through his sweat, saving every coin for his dream. But one day, fate had other plans. A fire broke out in the workshop. The flames spread fast. Within minutes, everything was gone. All his savings, all his tools, every trace of his hard work turned to ash. Arav fell to his knees. His hands, the ones that created beauty, were now burned and blistered. He cried out, "Why, God? I worked so hard. Why would you destroy everything?" His wife held his hand and whispered, "Maybe something better will come." But Arav snapped, "Better? I've lost everything. My hands are ruined. My dream is over." He turned away broken, unable to look at the ashes that once were his future. Days passed. The fire had taken more than his work. It had taken his will to live. Arav stopped going out. He sat near the window all day, staring at the sky with lifeless eyes. Mira tried to encourage him, but he only said one thing: God is unfair. Fate is cruel. One evening, their little daughter, Chavi, brought him a small wooden toy horse. It was rough and broken, a gift she had found outside. She said softly, "Papa, can you fix it? You're the best carpenter in the world." Arav looked at his injured hands and felt tears fill his eyes. He said, "No, Chavi, Papa can't make anything anymore." The child didn't argue. She just hugged him tightly and said, "Then I'll wait till your hands get better." Those simple words pierced his heart. For the first time in weeks, Arav felt something stir inside. Hope. That night, he took a small knife and carefully began shaping the toy with his weak hands. It hurt, but he didn't stop. The next morning, he handed the polished toy to Chavi, smiling for the first time in months. That moment changed something in him. A few days later, Mira went to the local market and took that little toy horse with her. A merchant saw it and said, "Who made this? It's beautiful." When she told him her husband had carved it, the merchant was amazed. He said, "Bring more like this. I'll buy them all." Arav was hesitant at first, but Mira encouraged him. "Maybe this life giving you another chance." And so, every evening, Arav sat outside his small home and began carving little toys. Horses, birds, elephants, each one made with love, patience, and pain. Children from nearby villages came to see them. Soon, merchants from the city placed orders. What began as a broken man's attempt to heal became a new beginning. In a few months, Arav's small table turned into a shop, and on its signboard, he proudly wrote, "From ashes to art." Years passed. Arav became known far and wide for his handcrafted toys. He taught poor children in the village how to carve wood and earn a living. One afternoon, while returning from the market, Arav saw an old man sitting under a tree, a traveling monk. The monk smiled and said, "You seem at peace, my son, but I can sense you once carried great pain." Arav smiled back. "Yes, I cursed my fate once. I thought God was unfair, but now I know. He was preparing me for something better." The monk nodded. Sometimes, destruction is not punishment, it's direction. Arav's eyes softened. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you for breaking me, only to rebuild me stronger." He had lost his workshop, but found his purpose. He had lost his tools, but found his gift. And most importantly, he had learned pain can be the seed of destiny.